Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back. This is going to be video 45, inshallah, and we're going to be working on form 8. And in this form, what's added is extra. That is added is ta and, it's alif and ta. Alif and ta is added in this form. So the basic root is fa'ala, fa'ala. This is what's added in this form. So when we put it in this form here, it's going to be افتعل. افتعل. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's always either going to be the elephant, the ta is going to be in the beginning. Sometimes, like in this case, now you noticed the ta came after the fa. So, ifta'ala. In the lesson before, when we did form 7, the alif and noon was coming together in the beginning of the verb. So you just kind of watch out for that. And if you recognize the root letters, then you can figure out quickly, okay, the alif is extra and the ta is here. This is not one of the basic root letters that we have. So inshallah, the only way this is going to come is with practice, and then you will recognize the verbs easily, inshallah. Okay, so then the form is going to be this. So then all of the other verbs are going to fall under this form. So let's just transfer it over here. So it becomes ifta'ala, ifta'ala, ta'ala. And then mudari becomes yafta'ilu, yafta'ilu. Okay, ifta'ala yafta'ilu. Now we have several verbs here in this category. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 that are most repeated in the Quran. There's probably more, but these are the most repeated ones. So, and I'll explain in certain verbs. Form 8 is a little bit I don't know what's the word to use, but it's a little bit confusing sometimes, because certain root letters are dropped, certain root letters are merged together. So certain root letters that are close to the makharij of how you pronounce it, like the ta and the ta, it's very close in makhraj of where the sound is coming from. So, and then sometimes those kind of words are, because when you write it, like the ta and the ta coming back to back, sometimes it's difficult to pronounce. So they will drop one of them, and then it'll change to either ta or ta. So I just want you to, I'm not going to go too much in detail in that, but just kind of know that form 8 has a lot of changes in it, and it starts with the alif, and then the third letter is a ta. Okay, so if we can just remember these patterns, inshallah, then it becomes a lot easier. And then sometimes when you have a question, you're stuck, if you're not sure what form it is, then you can always refer to the book, refer to Qur'an corpus or something like that, and it'll explain to you better, inshallah. Okay, so let's do the first one. I'll give you the root letter, and then we'll put it in this form. The first one is khalafa. The root letter is khalafa. Khalafa. Now we're gonna put it in the form 8, so it becomes ikhtalafa. 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 افتعل. Same pattern, same wazn. So then the mudari becomes what? اختلف يختلف. 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 اختلف يختلف. It means to differ, to be different. As always, has more meanings, but for one reason right now, for the sake of confusion, we'll just stick with what's the meaning that's given here. To differ. The next verb we have is, I'll give you the root, is taba'a. Taba'a. To follow. This is what it means to follow. Now we're going to put it in form 8. Now we already have a ta here, and we're supposed to add another ta in this word, in taba'a. So what's going to happen is that you're not going to write two tas back to back, and we're going to write one ta with the shadda on it. So the form is going to be ittaba'a. Ittaba'a. That's the ta, and then it's doubled. We have to put a shadda, so that means there's two tas. Ittaba'a. Yattabi'u. 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 Okay, and of course it means to follow. The next verb we have is أخذ. أخذ, like he took. It's the past tense in the basic form. Now in the 8 form, it becomes, this one goes through some change, so just know that something has been dropped. So now in form 8, it becomes اتخذ. اتخذ. It's a shadda. اتخذ. يتخذ. يتخذ. اتخذ يتخذ. To take, to adopt. So that's that. The next one we have is waqa. Yeah, you guys can see this. Yeah, wa, qaf, and yeah, waqaya. Waqa. The basic root is waqa, to protect, to save, to protect. So now we put it in form 8. It becomes ittaqa. Ittaqa. اتقى يتقي. يتقي. اتقى يتقي. All right. Now it means to be on guard, to protect. اتقى. Okay, I don't think we have space. I'm gonna go ahead and remove all of this, inshallah, and I'll come back with probably, we have 3 more. So, all right, let's go ahead and erase this. Be right back. Okay, next verb is, we have on the list here is, root is fa, ra. Fa, ra. Yeah. Okay. Form 8. Now it becomes iftara. Iftara. Okay, and it becomes yaftari. يفتري. Okay, iftara means to fabricate, to invent, to do something. You know, that's what that means. All right. It means to fabricate a lie, to this kind of something. The next verb we have is the hadaya, hada. That's guidance. That's the basic root, and then we put it in form 8. It becomes ihtada. Ihtada. Yahtadi. Yahtadi. Ihtada yahtadi. All right, so this means to find or to follow, the right path. It means, guidance. And the last one we have is the root is ba, wa, ya. Okay, now form 8, ibtagha, ibtagha, yabtaghi, yabtaghi. And this means to seek, to search. And those are the meaning for that. So iftara, yaftari, ihtada, yahtadi, ibtagha, yabtaghi. These are all the verbs. This is it for form 8. I've given you the roots for all of them, and we have given the form 8 as well. Form 8, alif and ta is added, not back to back, but alif, and then there's fa, and then the ta, and then ain, and then the lam. That's how it's done. These forms this is how you might say, how am I supposed to remember which one is which and which one is this? The best way to do is just to memorize it, inshallah, and just bring all 10 forms, put it in front of you, and know the differences, what's added here, and give example of each verb. Like, let's just do one verb that's easy for you. And then you put it, if you want to continue with the fa'ala, and then use that fa'ala in all of the 10 forms, so that way you know exactly what is extra added. You already know the fa'ala is the root letters. And then anything else that's extra added, then that way, inshallah, it's a good way to practice and know that, okay, this is form 2, this is form 4, from, whatever it is. So you can right away quickly tell. So if you stick with the same root letter, then quickly you will know what else is added. Okay. You can always do other verbs, but you have to be a little bit strong in the verbs and the 3 root letters in order for you to quickly figure out which form this is. But if you're not, then I think I would recommend you stick with fa'ala and then go from there. Okay, and then the next 2 other forms, let me see. Yeah, the next form I'm going to talk about is form 9, which we don't have a whole lot. I think there's only like 2 verbs. So I will go ahead and erase the board, come back and give you, inshallah, the examples for those, and then we'll start with form 10. Okay, form 9, this is used for like colors and defects, which a lot of times is not used. But the ones we are using here, it's going to be for colors, which is repeated in the Quran. So what's added in this form is alif and lam. And alif comes in the beginning and the lam comes at the end. So we have the fa'ala, same thing, same root. So we have the alif plus the fa plus the ain plus the lam plus the lam, basically. So this gets added to the last letter. So when we write everything together, it becomes if'alla, if'alla. And of course, there's two of them, so we're not going to write it separately. We're going to do a shadda on top with a fatha on it, so it becomes if'alla. And then this is your pattern. So the colors then fall, or the defects will fall in here. So we have the word, so let's put this here. If'alla, if'alla, yaf'allu, yaf'allu. Okay, so now we have the word sawada, black. Iswadda, to become black. Iswadda, right? If'alla, iswadda, same pattern. Yes, waddu. Yes, waddu, right? So to become black. The next verb we have is bayada. That's the root. And then it becomes abyadda, to become white. Sorry, ibyadda. Ibyadda. And the mudari is yabyaddu. Okay. So this is pretty much it for form 9. Iswadda, ibyadda, to become black, to become white. That's that. And I'm gonna go ahead and erase all of this, because for form 10, we're gonna need, because we have several verbs. It's not a lot, but we have a few other verbs, so we need the whole space for that. All right, we'll be right back. All right. Form 10 is what's added. It's alif, sin, and ta is added. Oops. So the root is fa, la. Now, the good thing about this is that this whole thing, all three of them, it's added in the beginning of the letter. Of the verb. So it makes it a lot easier to remember and recognize when you come across these verbs. This is form 10. So let's put it together here. So it becomes istaf'ala. 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 All right, so this becomes our pattern. So we're going to move it over here. Istaf'ala. 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 Yastaf'alu. Yastaf'ilu, sorry. Yastaf'ilu. Oh, I'm missing the ta. Yes. Yastaf'ilu. Yastaf'ilu. Istaf'ala, yastaf'ilu. All right, so this is the thing. I'm going to go ahead and erase this because we already have it over there. But this is what's added in this form. All right, so I will go ahead and give the root, and then work on the form 10. Okay. The first verb we have is, the root is, you know what, I'm going to move this a little bit this way so we give the roots. So it's al-sin, plus this is what's added. Okay. All right. So the first verb we have is ajala. Ajala, to hurry, ajala. Okay, now let's put this in form 10. So we're going to put the alif sin ta in front of it, right? So it becomes ista'jala. 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 Yasta'jilu. 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 Okay? And the meaning is to seek, to hasten. Ista'jala. And some of them could also have a meaning of something that's coming in the future, like that would be in the future. So just kind of keep that in mind. Next word we have is ghafara. Ghafara, meaning like he forgave. So we put it in form 10. Alif sin ta comes in the front. Istaghfara. 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 Yastaghfiru. 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 Istaghfara means to ask for forgiveness. Istaghfara. We say this istighfar all the time. Okay. The next verb we have is kabara. Kabara. To deny, to be arrogant, to reject. Okay, form 10, it becomes istakbara. 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 Yastakbiru. Yastakbiru. Takbiru. Istakbara yastakbiru. It means to act arrogantly. All right, next verb we have is, the root is haza'a. This is hamza. Haza'a. Meaning he made fun of, to mock. Okay, so we put it in form 10, it becomes istahza'a. Sorry, istahza'a. Yeah. Istahza'a. Istahza'a. Okay. Istahza'a. Yastahzi'u. Yes. Tahzi. Yes. Tahzi. Ooh. I remember these are those verbs that end with hamza. Sometimes they go through some changes. You're probably wondering why this has an alif here, why does it have a ya here? Because, well, one is in the Maldi version, this is the Mudari version. So the hamza here is on the ya, because the way the verb changes. Okay. Next, this means, of course, means to mock at something, to make fun of at something. Okay. Let's see. I don't think we can fit this one because it's not going to show. I'm going to go ahead and erase this and we'll be right back. All right. Next one we have is jawaba. Jawaba. Okay. Like meaning he answered. That's like in the basic form. So form 10, it becomes istajaba. Also remember we talked about the wow and the yeah. These are letters that kind of interchangeable. Sometimes they change into alif, sometimes they're dropped, sometimes so I'm just pointing these out again and again, so you just kind of keep that in mind, inshallah. So in form 10 it becomes istajaba. Istajaba. Yastajibu. 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 Okay. If you write this in basic form, it's written like that. Jaba yajibu. Okay. All right. So this means to accept, to respond. Istajaba yastajibu. The next verb we have is ba. Well, fine. So the way you would write it is ta'a. This is how you would write it. But these are the root, but it's written like this, ta'a yati'u. So now we put it on form 10, becomes istata'a. Istata'a. استطاع يستطيع يستطيع يستطيع. I apologize. I think I'm missing the yeah here. يستطيع. There we go. استطاع يستطيع. This means to to be able to. To be able to. All right. And then the next verb we have is, root is qawama. And of course, the way we write it is qama. Qama yaqimu, right? So in form 10, it becomes istaqama. Istaqama. Istaqama yastaqimu. Taqimu. Istaqama yastaqimu means to be straight, to act straight. Okay? And of course, as always, there's a lot more meanings to these verbs, but we're sticking with the more common ones. Istaqama yastaqimu. The word mustaqim comes from here, surat al-mustaqim. All right, so this is all the verbs we have in form 10. And just a little review. Alif sin ta is added in the beginning of your basic verb. So anytime you have a basic verb, you can just take any verb and put alif sin ta in front of it. This becomes form 10. But you always have to remember how you're gonna create the mudari. The madi will be easy. Mudari is you have to also kind of practice, inshallah. I think this is, believe it or not, we've covered, alhamdulillah, we've covered all of the forms for these verbs. We've given, examples for each of these patterns, forms, actually, I should say, from form 1 all the way to form 10. So this is 10. This is where we stop as far as the 10, the forms go. There are, I think, they go up to, I don't know exactly how many, but as far as I know that we've like studied in the past, I was told by my teachers that forms go up till probably 15, 13, 14, 15 forms, but those are not pretty common. So we usually stay with up to form 10. All right, inshallah. So these were like the most common things that we had to follow. And believe it or not, we're almost coming towards the end of our journey that we've started, studying these verbs, the 80% of the Quranic verbs. And so we've covered all the forms. We're done with this. So I'm trying to figure out, inshallah, what we're going to be doing for the next, going forward. I have a few things in mind, so I'm trying to go back now, inshallah, start videos that really focuses basically that what we've studied from this, and I want to go back and find perhaps maybe ayat or like shorter surahs from the Quran and bring those, and then inshallah we can search for those verbs that we've covered and also identify everything that we've learned so far, as from day one that we've started these videos up until now, till end of form 10, and and put this knowledge that we have now, put everything together and apply it, because this is the only way that we're going to learn, inshallah. If now we have everything written down and your notebook is sitting somewhere and you're not using it daily, then we tend to forget very quickly, you know. So it's something that you have to keep practicing every day, every day, every day. If you can't do it every day, at least every other day, you have to open your notebook, look at your notes, and this is the only way that is going to get stuck in our head. So I'm still thinking about how I'm going to do, kind of bring everything all together, and as a practice going forward. Maybe you guys can give me some ideas as far as what you want to, focus on. What are the areas that you guys might need more assistance with, or more explanation, or something that you guys want to work on. Of course, it has to do with what we're covering, what we're studying. And then, inshallah, we can, continue. All right, so for today, we're going to go ahead and stop here. There are other prepositions that are here outlined, and I will, on the next video, inshallah, we're going to be talking about those. It's not a whole lot, there's just a few. We're going to talk about those, and then after that, I think we're pretty much done with all of these verbs. And then also, another thing that we could probably be doing is, we talked about, like in this case, different columns for Madi, Mudari, and then we can practice verbs like that. These verbs that we have, we can put it in those forms and then conjugate it all the way through. Remember, for the 14 pronouns that we have, so you can conjugate all the verbs to that, and it goes across as well. Then you have Madi, Mudari, then you have amr, and then you have ism fa'il, and then you have the masdar of it. Then you come down here on the bottom, you have maldi majhul, mudari majhul, meaning that the doer is not known, that form. And then you have the fa'il, and then you have the ism maf'ul. We did a little bit of that in the beginning when we started doing the lessons, when we were doing the basically the form one. We did some of that, but so that's another thing that we could work on, or we can practice, if you guys like. We could do that. Anyways, so let's go ahead and stop the video here for today on Form 10. Alhamdulillah, we're done with Form 10. And then on the next video, inshallah, I'm going to be start talking about what's left in this book. We talk about the prepositions um, that comes with something else, with some other huruf that's added to them, and then it kind of changes the meaning a little bit. So that's pretty important, that we should know that. Of course, and these are all the things that is repeated in the Quran, so that we have to know that. All right, until next video, Assalamu alaikum. Have a good day.